Dear students, in lifestyle diseases and prevention, we will learn a new topic, that is the most interesting one, Alzheimer's disease. Everyone among us will have a common problem of memory. Okay, some people will have a perfect and noticeable memory power, and certain people will have the problem of memory. They fail to remember few things that has happened even couple of days before in their lifetime. So this memory system, okay, is a gift by the God to the human beings, but the exact scientific mechanism behind in the process of memory loss has been a very big challenge to understand among scientific community. There are a lot of influencing factors have been characterized to understand this process of memory. Okay, but certain disorders like Alzheimer and dementias, we are susceptible to lose our capacity of memory because they are highly targeting the factors that are having important role in the process of memory. So we are going to see a disease which has direct impact on the central nervous system, that is brain, which indirectly affects the gift memory. Okay, so we will start to discuss Alzheimer disease. In this topic, we are going to discuss what is meant by Alzheimer disease, what are all the major symptoms of Alzheimer disease, causative factors of Alzheimer disease, risk factors for Alzheimer disease, basic biochemical mechanism, that is pathogenesis of Alzheimer disease, and finally we will discuss how can we prevent Alzheimer disease through lifestyle changes. In this flow we will discuss this topic, so we'll start from the beginning. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive form of a type of dementia. Dementia is a broader term for conditions caused by brain injuries or diseases that negatively affect memory, thinking, and behavior. These changes interfere with daily living. According to the Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's disease accounts for 60 to 80% of dementia cases. Most people with the disease get a diagnosis only after the age 65. There is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, but there are treatments that can slow the progression of the disease in the human body. It is a chronic, ongoing condition. Its symptoms come on gradually, and the effects on the brain are degenerative, meaning they cause slow decline in the human body. Anyone can get Alzheimer's disease, but certain people are at high risk for it. This includes people over age 65 and those with the family history of the condition. Alzheimer's and dementia are not the same thing. Alzheimer's disease is actually a type of dementia. Some people live a long time with mild cognitive damage, while others experience a more rapid onset of symptoms and quicker disease progression. Common types of dementias. There are few different types of dementias have been observed, in which Alzheimer disease is a one type of dementia. Types of dementia. Alzheimer's dementia, which accounts for 55 to 65% of the total cases in dementia. Second one, vascular dementia, which accounts for 30 to 35% cases of dementia. Lewy body dementia, which accounts for around 5 to 7% of the total dementia cases. Pick's dementia, which accounts for 3 to 5% of the total cases. Other dementias that covers around 10 to 15% of the total dementia cases. So these are all the major types of dementias: Alzheimer's dementia, vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia, Pick's dementia, and other types. Alzheimer's disease is an irreversible, progressive brain disease that slowly destroys memory and disorders cognitive functions. It is not a part of normal aging. Although the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease increases with age, in most people with Alzheimer's disease, symptoms first appear after the age 60. In November 1906, at a German psychiatrist meeting, Alois Alzheimer presented the pathological findings on a brain of a 56-year-old woman who died after a progressive dementia. This 51-year-old woman was admitted to Frankfurt Hospital in 1901 for progressive dementia. Her name is Auguste Deter. She was under the care of Dr. Alzheimer until her death in 1906. Around 5 years, she was in the hospital for the treatment for dementia. Dr. Alzheimer did an autopsy, examined her brain, and described the physical and typical abnormalities of what would be called later as Alzheimer's disease. This case did not prompt any reaction until Dr. Kraepelin in 1910 referred to it as Alzheimer's disease in the 18th edition of his psychiatry book. In Canadian Alzheimer's Association has given a data that 65% of dementia patients are women. So, when compared to male, females are highly susceptible for this problem of dementia. In Canada alone, by the year 2016, 5,46,000 of cases are found to be dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. 1.1 million Canadians are affected directly or indirectly by the disease. In the year 2031, it was estimated that around 9,37,000 Canadians will be living with this disease. Worldwide, around 50 million people are having dementia. There are nearly 10 million new cases every year. Symptoms of Alzheimer's disease: short-term memory loss, that is, forgetting recent events, names, and places. Difficulty in performing familiar tasks, that includes bathing, wearing clothes, etc. Disorientation, especially away from your normal surroundings. Increasing problems with planning and managing. Trouble with the language. Rapid, unpredictable mood changes. Lack of motivation and self-confidence. Changes in sleep and confusion about the time of day. Reduced judgment, that is, being unaware of danger. Some factors have been identified as risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so we'll discuss the major risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. That includes increased age, that is over 65 years of age, hypertension, that is high blood pressure, increased cholesterol level, that is hypercholesterolemia, coronary artery disease, diabetes mellitus, genetics, smoking, alcohol consumption, increased level of plasma homocysteine, Down syndrome, mild cognitive impairment. These are all the major risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. Now we will discuss the pathophysiology, that is the biochemical mechanism behind the initiation and progression of Alzheimer's disease. Plaques and tangles. These two are the major biochemical hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. The brains of people with Alzheimer's disease have an abundance of two abnormal structures. Number one, beta amyloid plaques, which are dense deposits of brain protein and cellular material that accumulate outside and around the nerve cells called neurons. Second one, neurofibrillary tangles, which are twisted fibers that build up inside the nerve cells neurons. These two are found to be the major biochemical hallmarks for Alzheimer's disease. Amyloid precursor protein is a membrane protein that has been embedded in the membrane of the cells and extends outward. It is thought to be important for neuronal growth, survival, and repair mechanisms. There are certain enzymes which cut the amyloid precursor protein into many fragments, the most important of which for Alzheimer's disease is called beta amyloid or alpha beta amyloid fragments. Beta amyloid is sticky, so the fragments cling together along with other material outside of the neuron, forming the protein aggregation called plaques, which can be physically seen in the brain. Free radicals induced Alzheimer's disease. Like other major chronic complications, Alzheimer's disease are also having a problem related to free radical induced neuronal cell damages. Oxidative damage from free radical molecules can injure the neurons present in the brain tissue. A study shows that an elevated level of plasma homocysteine is associated with the increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's disease brain will have lot of physiological and anatomical changes in the brain tissue. The Alzheimer's diseased individual will have the brain with a cortex of shrivels up, damaging areas involved in thinking, planning, and remembering. The ventricles present in the brain tissue will be enlarged and filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. Hippocampus, the important part of the brain which is being responsible for the ultimate memory, will start to shrink in Alzheimer's disease. Due to the shrink of hippocampus region, most of the Alzheimer's patients are having the problem of memory. Diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. The only definite way to diagnose someone with Alzheimer's disease is to examine their brain tissue after death. There is no early diagnostic systems have been characterized biochemically for Alzheimer's disease so far. But doctor can use other examination and tests to assess the mental abilities, diagnose dementia, and rule out other conditions. They will likely start by taking a medical history. They may ask about the patient's symptoms, family medical history, other current or past health conditions, current or past medications, diet system, alcohol consumption habit, and other lifestyle habits. There is no definite test for Alzheimer's disease. It can be mental, physical, neurological, and imaging tests. This can help them to assess your short-term memory, long-term memory, and orientation to place and time. For example, the doctor may ask few questions like what day it is, who is the president. It is just to remember and recall a short list of words. Next, they may check the body temperature, pressure, assess the heart rate. In some cases, the doctor may suggest us to go for urine examination, blood screening in the laboratories. The doctor may also conduct a neurological examination to rule out other possible diagnoses such as an acute medical issue that includes infection or stroke. During this examination, they will check the reflexes, muscle tone, and speech. Doctor may also order brain imaging studies. These studies will create pictures of brain that can include MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. MRIs can help pick up key markers such as inflammation, bleeding, and structural issues. CT scan. CT scan, that is computerized tomography, can take X-ray images which can help the doctor to look for abnormal characteristics that has happened in the brain. Third one, positron emission tomography scan, that is PET scan, which can help the doctor to detect plaque buildup, that is beta amyloid plaque presentation in the brain. Plaques is a protein substance related to Alzheimer's symptom. Some biomarkers are also identified related to Alzheimer's disease. That includes delayed recall or cerebrospinal fluid beta amyloid level, which is used to differentiate the condition called hippocampal amnesia that is caused by Alzheimer's disease. Total tau protein or phosphorylated tau protein, which is used to help to diagnose the condition called neuronal beta plaque accumulation or neuronal degeneration, even include intraneuronal NFT. Structural imaging studies include CT scan, MRI scan, and positron emission tomography will help to find out the neuronal injuries as essential markers. Glucose hypometabolism will also be screened to understand the mechanism of Alzheimer's disease. There are different stages of Alzheimer's disease have been characterized biochemically. Number 1, that is stage 1, where we could not see any symptoms. Early diagnosis is purely based on the family history. Stage 2, earliest symptoms can be witnessed. That includes forgetfulness, that is loss of memory, which is a temporary issue. Stage 3, mild physical and mental impairments appear, such as reduced memory and concentration. Stage 4, mild Alzheimer's disease, memory loss, and the inability to perform everyday tasks is evident. Stage 5, moderate to severe symptoms, and it requires help from the loved ones or caregivers. Stage 6, they need help with the basic tasks such as eating, putting on clothes, etc. Stage 7, severe and final stage, loss of speech and facial expressions. Treatment options for Alzheimer's disease. Currently, there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease. However, there are several drugs that may be prescribed to help with Alzheimer's disease. They are not a cure, but they can help with some of the symptoms of the disease. Drugs such as donepezil, which is also known as Aricept, rivastigmine, which is also known as Exelon, and galantamine, which is familiarly called Reminil, or used to treat the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, and antipsychotics are the commonly used drugs to treat the symptoms of depression, anxiety, agitation, and the hallucination and delusions that may happen in Alzheimer's diseased individuals. Lot of drugs have been given as example drugs that can be tried to treat different stages of Alzheimer's disease, which may be cholinesterase inhibitors, that includes donepezil, galantamine, etc. NMDA antagonist called memantine, nicotinic receptor antagonist, antioxidants, which includes vitamin E, vitamin C, melatonin, etc. PPAR gamma agonist, that includes pioglitazone, gamma secretase inhibitors, 5-HT6 antagonist, statins, that includes simvastatin and pravastatin, and other drugs that may be heavy metal chelators, estrogen, or other general anti-inflammatory drugs. These are all the major drugs either approved or experimentally under study for the management of Alzheimer's disease. But still, there is no effective single drug has been studied and characterized to manage and treat the problem of Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia. There are certain preventive options have been observed through lifestyle changes which can ultimately help to manage the progression rate of Alzheimer's disease. There are few healthy lifestyle habits as ways of preventing cognitive decline. The following measures may help: quit smoking, exercise regularly, try cognitive training exercises, eat a plant-based diet, consume more antioxidants, maintain an active social life. These are all the 6 major lifestyle and diet system changes which can ultimately reversely trigger the process of Alzheimer's disease, so that we can manage or slow down the progression rate of Alzheimer's disease. Some protective factors have also been given to manage the Alzheimer's disease. It lacks the exact scientific mechanism and experimental evidences related to the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. But they are believed that these protective factors can influence the treatment options available for Alzheimer's disease. That includes physical activity, caffeine consumption, antioxidant supplements, that includes vitamin C, vitamin E, B6, that is pyridoxine, and vitamin B12, that is cyanocobalamin, folic acid or folate, omega-3 fatty acids consumption, and speaking more than 2 languages may helps your brain to keep them as healthy and young. So these are all the major protective factors which can directly impact the management of Alzheimer's diseases. So students, that's all about Alzheimer's disease. So far we have discussed, as I said in the beginning, what is meant by Alzheimer's disease, what are all the different types of dementias available, and the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, the risk factors of Alzheimer's disease, pathophysiology of Alzheimer's disease, the diagnostic patterns what the medical physicians follow in nowadays for Alzheimer's disease, and the biochemical markers identified to screen the progression of Alzheimer's disease, different stages of Alzheimer's disease, and the available chemotherapeutic drugs for the management of Alzheimer's disease, the lifestyle habits which can slow down the progression of Alzheimer's disease, and the general protective factors suggested for Alzheimer's disease. In this flow only I have given you a study material. Please go for it. And if you have any clarification, you just please ask me. And you prepare in this flow for your university examinations. In the next class, we'll discuss a new topic with a lot of informations. Thank you so much.